Hey guys, my name's Mark, and today I'm going to be making a video on how you can use the Instantly API to monitor the status of the campaigns. Now, if you're using Instantly to run your cold email campaigns, or if you're an agency that has a lot of customers that you're offering this to, and you have to monitor multiple accounts and multiple campaigns, this is going to be something that you're going to want to pay attention to. I know firsthand when we are monitoring multiple customers, and they have each one has many campaigns. I know that it can take a long time every day. I was spending upwards of an hour a day logging into these Instantly campaigns, checking the status, making sure that nothing is getting paused because of a high bounce rate. So ultimately, what I wanted to do was figure out a way to not have to do that and spend an hour a day just monitoring. But I wanted to build a way for, if that happened, to alert me and then to understand what the course of action is supposed to take. So I'm going to make a video today, walk you through that, give you everything that you need to know, and show you what my long-term vision is for this type of monitoring. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. We are going to be using a couple of tools. They might be foreign to you right now, but I will go through this and I'm going to be making multiple videos to kind of help you through the path to get to where we want to go. So we're going to use to access the Instantly API, we're going to use a tool called Postman. If you go to postman.com/downloads or just postman.com, if you click on product, you can click on download Postman and you're going to see the screen. Download that, install it, and we're going to reference the Instantly API documentation. So if you Google Instantly API, it's going to be the first result, and here is the campaigns. I've got it open here to the list campaigns because that's what we're going to start with. But I'm going to show you kind of how to start from the very beginning by downloading Postman and importing the collection that I've saved that I will share with you. I'll provide a link in the description. But ultimately what I want to do is, instead of logging into Instantly, I want to be alerted if something happens. And what I've done is I've used make.com to build out a routine so that if something goes down, I'm going to search for Google Sheets because I want to save each of these paused campaigns. And if there's nothing there, then I'm going to add a new row, and then I'm going to notify myself via Slack. So what it comes out looking like is something like this, where if there's no paused campaigns at the end of the run, it says no paused campaigns to report, last monitored at, and then it gives me a timestamp. If there is something that's paused, it will give me the account name, it will give me the campaign name, and then it will give me the status. Specifically, I'm looking for a specific type of status called bounce protect, and that is what is returned when Instantly pauses your campaign because of a high bounce rate. And then ultimately what I want to do is I want to create something like this where it shows all the paused campaigns kind of like as a dashboard. And then I can see the details of the paused campaigns here. So I know which customer needs my account, my attention, and what we need to do to get that campaign back up and running. Typically it's, cleaning that list back in some type of service like Million Verifier or something like that, re-uploading the contacts that you now have re-verified the email addresses, and then resuming the campaign. But I'm going to show you one piece of the puzzle. We're not going to get to this type of page here yet today. I'm going to be making multiple videos on how to do each of these pieces. So the next one will be probably the make.com, and then we're going to be going into some kind of dashboard tool. I'm using Glide Apps, but we'll get there. So download Postman, and we will get started. All right, so once you get Postman up and running, I'm going to provide you with the collection that you can upload. So if you come to Postman, just click on Workspace, click on Create Workspace. Again, I'm doing this as if you are doing it again. Hopefully I can do it all in one take. I don't really like to edit videos, but here's where we're going to go. So we're going to go create a blank workspace, click Next. I'm going to title this one Instantly YouTube. And I'm going to do, for right now, I'll just do only me. Select only me and create. So now I've got a blank workspace. What I can do is I can import, and I've got my files here. So I'm going to give you all these files here. The one that you're going to want to import is this one called Instantly YouTube Postman Collection. So if I drag and drop that here, now I've got my collection. And I've got a few API calls that we're going to leverage. This one called List Campaigns. This is going to give you all of the campaigns associated with that Instantly account. It's going to show you active ones, it's going to show you completed ones, it's going to show you paused ones, and it's going to show you the ones that are getting paused automatically from Instantly because of the high bounce rate. Campaign status, that's going to give you one specific result or one specific status. So you need the output of the list campaigns as an input to the campaign status. And then list accounts, I'll probably do a video on this one later, but this is to check the status of the email account in Instantly. So you're going to get from the list campaigns, you're going to get a sample response like this. So it's going to have the campaign ID, which you're going to need as an input for the next one, and it's going to give you the campaign name. So for video purposes, I'm just calling these ones very generic, campaign 1, campaign 2, but this is an actual response that would come back from the Instantly API. And then the get campaign status, that's going to show you campaign ID, and then the status, whether it's active, paused, completed, things like that. So if let's see, I want to pause the video here. Actually, I take that back. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I can do this. So I can make this API call and then this get campaign status API call multiple times by uploading a CSV file, which will look like this. So I've got a few columns here. I've got the name of the customer. I've got a column for API key. These are not real API keys. This is not a real campaign ID. This is just a placeholder for me to show you how this all works. The important columns here are column B and C. It doesn't matter that I've got these extra columns here. When I actually run this process, it's not going to take those in because I haven't specified that in the collection. So essentially what I'm going to do is, if I pull this over here, so you've got these variables here, right, for get campaign status. So when I make this API call, I've got two variables, API key and campaign ID. So that looks just like this, right? Column B and column C. What I can do is I can populate this file with as many API keys and campaign IDs as I want, and then it will make this API call and loop through each of those rows in sequence, and it's going to show you whether or not what the results are. And I've got a little script here that says it just asserts that the response is not bounce protect, because this is what Instantly responds with when it's paused due to a high count. So all you've got to do is create your CSV file with these columns. If you want to include all four, that's fine. I included those because just I want to be able to know, okay, what customer does this API key represent? What campaign does this represent? So that when we're talking to people, we say, oh, test customer, test campaign name got paused. But you don't need it for this process. Once you have that kind of file, then you can come up to Postman, click on the three dots, and click on Run Folder. And I'm going to do Get Campaign Status. So I'm going to uncheck List Campaigns. I'm going to leave this selected as Run Manually. And right now, it's saying that this is going to make that API call, that Get Campaign Status API call, only once. But when I upload my file, and I'm going to do a real file, let's see, downloads, YouTube. Okay, so the one that I was showing was the sample one, but I'm going to put my real runner file. And now you see the iterations bumped up to 190 because in my CSV file, I've got 190 rows. And so if I preview, I can click preview and I can see that it's pulling in all of my rows. So there you go, of all of my information. I'm going to take that down real quickly because I don't want to show the API keys very long. Okay, and then I'm going to keep this unchecked, but I will rerun it again to show you how this makes a difference. So I'm going to do run instantly YouTube, and now you see all of these are all running. I'm going to stop it because I don't need to run it 190 times. But here's the cool thing. So this is the response. So it ran, 14 times in a matter of seconds. So that's 14 campaigns across multiple customers that I now have a quick status and say everything is good. And the reason why I can say everything is good is because we created that test right here that puts the output right here and gives you a green. And it says pass, campaign status is not equal to bounce protect. I can see all the green. If anything fails, it would show up as red and say fail. And then it would say campaign status does not equal bounce protect, but that's the name of the test, but the result is fail. And then I see a summary up here of 13 passed, 0 failed, 0 skipped. So this one, I paused it right at the time when it was running, so that's why there's only 13 responses. But if I click into this row here, I don't see what the actual response is, and that's okay. The reason why that's not happening is because when I ran it, I did not click persist responses for a session. So I'm going to run it again, but I'm going to select persist the responses, and I'll show you how it's different. All right, I'm going to stop it again. Everything is passed, but now when I click into the row, I get the actual response. So that's what the difference with that little check is. So this would save me a ton of time because I can run that across 190 campaigns across all of our customers, and I can see at a glance what everything looks like and if anything needs my attention. What else? Where do I want to go with this? Let's see. I think that's it, actually. I think I covered everything that I wanted to go over. And I'm trying to look now. We talked about Postman. We talked about downloading Postman, the Instantly API documentation. I talked about the vision of where this is going to go. This is going to end up going into make.com as an automation that runs multiple times a day and only alerts me via Slack on which campaigns need my attention. And then ultimately, I want to build a dashboard that I can either put up on a TV or on a separate screen or something, or we can display it for the team so that everybody knows, hey, this is which accounts have been paused. This one is which one needs attention. If there's nothing that shows up, that's actually good because that means that nothing is getting paused because of a high bounce rate, which means your customer campaigns are going smoothly and we're getting them leads. So I think that's it. I will include a link in the description on where to download the Postman collection, and then I'll provide that CSV template that all you'll have to do is populate it with your specific API keys and campaign ID, and then show you how to upload that. Actually, now that I say that, I do remember one thing that I didn't show you, and that was how to get your API key. So I'm going to do that real quick. Hold on just a minute. Okay, so after logging into Instantly, if you click on the menu and click on settings, it's going to take you to the integrations tab or the settings page. Click on integrations tab, and then you're going to click generate new API key. Or if you happen to have one already for Instantly, just copy that down, and that's where you're going to populate in the column for the API key. And also you'll get the campaign ID, like I said, from when you run the first one and you do the list campaigns. You can copy that into your file. Eventually, I'll make another video. So the first time that you do this, it's going to be kind of manual. But again, remember, once you make the CSV file, if you have 100 rows, 200 rows, you can run that Postman runner in a matter of seconds. So it's really going to save you time in the long run. I will make another video in the future on how to make this CSV file in an automated way, so you don't have to make sure that, hey, once we create a campaign, we've got to go update this the CSV file with the most up to date. So I'll create a video on how to do that. So that kind of gets taken care of for you. And then we'll just put that on some type of shared drive where whoever is doing this monitoring, they can just pull that local file and have the latest version with all the customer accounts, API keys, and all of the campaigns. If you get up to, upwards of 200, 300, 400, whatever, there's not a limit on how many inputs you can have to that Postman runner. So I think that's a wrap. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.